Hello students, welcome to the exam rat. So today we are going to start our unit number 6 mensurations, and we are already done with the one chapter, that is area related to the circles, right? So today we are going to discuss another chapter, that is chapter number 13, surface area and volumes. So basically this chapter include the curved surface area, lateral surface area and volume of other shapes like 3D objects like cuboid, cube, cylinder, cone, hemisphere, sphere, frustum, etc. Right. So before start, if you are new to our platform, please go through our website and subscribe. And in case of any doubts and queries, you can just feel free to contact and comment down. Okay. So let's just start with this chapter, surface area and the volume. So as the name suggests, what is the surface area means, right? Surface area is actually, so here we'll start with the surface area and lateral surface area. So like in class 9th sessions we have discussed little bit about this surface area, also known as the total surface area. Also we have discussed about this lateral surface area, which can be called as curved surface area, right, or CSA we can call it as. And also we can call it as the area of four walls in case of cubes and cuboids, right? So basically a surface area is the total surface area of the 3D object. Let's just say we have a 3D object, let's just say we have a cube. So I'm just roughly drawing a cube. So in this cube there are total 6 faces. This is first face, second, third, fourth. There are 4 walls, and this is a ceiling, and this is a roof. Basically a floor. Let's just consider your room. Your room is either a cuboid or a cube. So in that case it consists of 4 walls as well as a ceiling as well as a floor. So there are total 6 spaces. So when we calculate the area of all the 6 spaces, then it is considered as the total surface area. But when we consider the area of only the 4 walls, okay, irrespective of the floor or irrespective of the roof, we only consider the area of 4 walls, then in that condition it is called as the lateral surface area. For more detailed explanation, I have already told you this thing in your class 9th sessions when we have discussed the surface area. We discuss about this surface area, total surface, curved surface area, and also formula also. So if you people like just face any problem, you can get the detailed information on in our class 9th lessons, and you can just go through our website and you will be finding all the things there only. So here this is the combination of solids in this particular chapter. Like in class 9th and 10th standard, both will remain same in case of formula. Only frustum is the new topic that you are going to study, right? Basically the next thing is in this particular class, in this particular standard, you're not going to read about a certain 3D object. You're going to read about a combination of solid. Let's just suppose this is a ice cream, this is a softie. This is the shape of the softie. So in this particular case, the softie is the combination of hemisphere as well as cone. Okay, so that is how you will just have to like find out the surface area. Like in class 9th standard, I told you to find out the surface areas, curved surface areas of certain figures like cone, cylinder, but in this case you will be finding out the surface areas, volume of the combination. You can have a look at this tent. Okay, so in this particular tent, this is a cylindrical part of the tent and this is basically the hemispherical part. So you can just draw the tent like this, and if you have to find out the volume of this, you have to find out the volume of both of them, and then only you can just find out the volume of this whole combination, right? So the purpose of putting this picture is to show you that this is what we called as the combination of the solids, right? Starting with the other slide, basically this slide involves certain formulas. These are the formulas I have discussed in class 9th also. They are the same formulas. In class 9th we have discussed about cube, cuboid, cone, cylinder, sphere, hemisphere. From here also, this is basically a volume chart, right? Basically this chart consists of all of this, right? And prism and pyramid we have not discussed like in class 9th. So in class 10th also we are not going to discuss them, they are not in your syllabus. So you have to just go through these 6 things, and apart from them you also have to go through a next or the certain other 3D object known as the frustum. So I will tell you what is frustum and what are the surface areas and volume like in another slides. So before moving ahead, for a brief introduction, I have just put pictures there and table there, so you can just have a look to revise your class 9th formulas. These are just the same of class 9th. In class 9th we have also studied about the CSA, TSA, volume of these 6 figures. So in class 10th also we are going to study this. The newest thing is the frustum of cone, which we'll be discussing in the other slide, right? So starting with the cube, so curved surface area is basically the area of 4 walls. So in case of cubes, the 4 walls area is 4a square, where a is the side of cube, and the total surface area is 6a square. Volume is a cube in case of cube, right? So cube is basically a is the side of the cube, and then only you can consider them. So apart from looking at this table, we can have a look at this table. It has all the 3 columns, right? So moving ahead with the cuboid, in case of cuboid, L stands for the length, B stands for the breadth, and H stands for the height. I hope you people are grown up enough to know what is this L, B and H thing, right? You are studying this thing from your like 6th and 7th standard, and in case of 9th standard you have studied all these formulas. So I don't need to revise them, like you can go through our portal and you can just go through our 9th lessons and you will be getting these formulas. But just for the brief introduction, I'm just telling you the formulas, right? So for cuboid, the curved surface area is 2HL plus P. Okay, you are clear with this height, length and breadth thing. Okay, so for the total surface area, it is basically 2LB plus 2BH plus 2HL. Now the volume of the cuboid, as we always know, that it is the product of length, breadth and height. Now come to the right circular cylinder. This is basically I told you that there are 2 bases in this case. So right circular, basically curved surface area is the curved part apart from the roof and floor part. Okay, so this is the curved part, this is not the curved part, and this is also not the curved part. So curved part is basically this round part. So this is basically the area of this round part is 2 pi rh, where pi is a constant with value 22/7 or 3.14. You all are aware. H is height and r is the radius of this particular cylinder. Okay, now moving ahead with the total surface area, it is 2 pi r bracket h plus r, where all the terms are known to you. And coming to the volume, it is pi r square h, where pi is the constant term, r is the radius and h is the height, right? Moving ahead with the right circular cone. So the curved surface area of the right circular cone is pi rl. So in class 9th standard I told you that this is pi rl. I also told you that L is not in your syllabus, but still I am telling you that L is a slant height. I told you in class 9 syllabus that L is the slant height, and the formula of finding out the L is root over r square plus h square, where r is the radius of the cone and h is the height of the cone, and you can just easily find out the L putting in the formula and find out the curved surface area. Curved surface will be just excluding this base, this will be your curve. Okay, now the total surface area is pi r plus L. The volume for the right circular cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h. Moving ahead with the other two, that is sphere and hemisphere. Like sphere is basically a ball. Okay, we can say that circle and sphere are two different things, because circle is a 2D object which can be made with the help of paper, sheets, but a sphere is a 3D object like a football, basketball. These are the spheres. Okay, so in the case of sphere, there is curved surface and total surface will remain same, because a sphere is a ball. A ball has no, like, it has only curve, there is no base, no ceiling, no roof. So that is why both of them will remain 4 pi r square, where pi is the constant term, r is the radius. The volume for the sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, moving ahead with the sphere, when you just cut out this particular sphere in the half, you will be getting this type of figure, right? You will be getting something like this. So this probably is known as the hemisphere, half of the sphere. In this particular case, you can see that sphere has no roof and ceiling, but in this case it has a base, right? So it have a different curve and the total surface area. So the curved surface area will be half of the curved surface area of sphere, so it is obviously be 2 pi r square, but the total surface area will be 2 pi r square for this and pi r square for the area of the circular base, so it will become 3 pi r square. And moving ahead with the volume, it will be half the volume of sphere, that is 2 by 3 pi r cube, where pi is the constant term and r is the radius. So these are the tables. I hope these tables are clear to you and you can just easily like revise the formula and you just have to put them out. Only the difference between class 9th and class 10th standard is this, that you are going to study about frustum in this standard. Also you are going to apply these formulas in the combination of solids rather than the solid itself. You have to apply in the combination. Okay, so our next is the conversion of solid. Okay, so what is this conversion of solid means? Okay, just look at this picture. There is a watermelon. This is a watermelon, like how it looks like this is the watermelon. I know this look like more like a ball, not like a watermelon, but I have just drawn a normal picture of a watermelon. Let's just suppose this is a watermelon. Okay, so it will have a particular volume, right? When you cut this watermelon into like these pieces, in many these pieces, like let's just suppose 12 pieces, so the volume of all the 12 pieces will be equal to this particular volume, because surface area is changed, because the whole watermelon will be like very huge, right? But the smaller pieces will be like very small, right? So there will be difference in area, but volume is basically the amount of liquid, or basically what the matter is present inside. So the total matter present inside will remain same when we cut it into different pieces. So this is what we called as the conversion of solid. That for example, here is a cube. Okay, there is a cube. Let's just suppose it contains 1 liter of water, and you have transferred this 1 liter of water in a conical vessel, right? You have transferred this and it is also full. So you know that shapes are different, but you know that both of them, they contain 1 liter of water. It means that volume of both the shapes is same, because both the shapes, they can accommodate 1 liter of water only. Similarly, when we cut this watermelon into different pieces, then the total volume of the watermelon will be equal to the total amount of the volume of all the slices we have cut the original watermelon into, right? This is what we called as the conversion of solid. So basically, the volume remains same irrespective of the shape when you will transfer the same amount in the another picture. Okay, let's just suppose this is a cuboidal tank. This is a cuboidal river, or you can say tank. Okay, so you have just transferred this water in a cubical tank. So this cubical tank will be completely full up to the brim, and this river is also like full. So when you will transfer this river into this brim, since it is full, it means that volume of both the shapes are same irrespective of whether it is cuboidal river or it is a cubical tank. But since it contains the similar amount of the volume, similar amount of the water, that is why we can say that the volume will remain same. I hope that's clear to you. Okay, so now I'll be coming with the very important topic of this class, that is frustum, that you have not studied so far. So what is frustum, guys? I'm just telling you what is frustum. let's just I have drawn a big picture, so let's just draw a small one and I'll tell you what is this frustum actually. Okay, so basically a frustum is, in a layman language we can say, it is in a form of tub or in a form of a bucket, right? We can just say it is a form of like that, like this is your cone. This is your cone. You can just draw a cone, normal cone, right circular cone. So when we just cut this cone from any point, removing its edge, so what it will be like, it will remain like this. It will form something like this, like a trapezium, but there will be a circular base upside. But because when you cut this 3D object, it will be circular, right? And there will be like this. So this is what we called as the frustum. When we cut the cone, a right circular cone, then this type of bucket type of the piece is known as the frustum of the cone. Okay, so you can just have a look on this, that all basically this is the total height of the like cone. So in the case of frustum, this will be the height. Okay, so if let's just suppose this is the frustum, this is the height, this is the L, that is this land height, and this is the radius of the cone. So basically there are two radius, because in the case of frustum you can see that there is a large circular base and there is a small circular base. So these are the two radiuses, and according to that, the CSA of frustum is basically pi L, okay, R plus R. Like you can see, in case of cone we write it as pi RL, right? In this case also we are writing pi RL, but since there are two radius in case of frustum, we are writing it as pi L R plus R. I hope that's clear to you. So moving ahead with the TSA of the frustum, so TSA of the frustum is basically this pi L R plus R plus both the bases, the area of both the bases. So area of the first base is pi r square plus pi small r square. So it will be something like pi L r plus r plus pi r square plus r square. This will be your area of TSA of the frustum of the cone. Okay, in the case you can just see, like in the case of cone, it was pi RL, okay, plus pi r square, something like this was the whole. Okay, so this was in the case of cone. In the case of frustum also it remains same, but like r is replaced by r plus r, and this r is also replaced by r square plus r square, because the frustum consists of the two radius. I hope that is clear to you, that what is a frustum, how the frustum is formed. You can easily form the frustum by cutting out the cone. Like this is a particular cone, you just have to cut this cone from the middle or from anywhere you want. So this thing which is left is known as the frustum of the cone, which look like a bucket or like a tub, like a hat you can say. So this is what we called as the frustum of the cone. I hope that's clear to you. Moving ahead with the volume of frustum of cone. So since the volume of cone is basically 1 by 3 pi r square h, in this also case we will just say that 1 by 3 pi h, apart from r it will be r plus r whole square, right? So it will be like 1 by 3 pi h r square plus small r square plus 2rr. I hope that's clear. This is the whole formula for the frustum of the cone's volume, right? So I hope that's clear to you, that what is the frustum of the cone. Okay, so moving ahead with our next slide. Basically this is only the basic for this chapter, and like now we are going to start with certain numericals. So these are very easy numericals. You just have to solve the TSA and CSA of the known figures, but there will be some combination of solids. Okay, so first is two cubes, each of volume 64 centimeter cubes are joined. Find their surface area of the resulting. Okay, so basically there are two cubes, there are two individual cubes, they are just joined together. So when you just join, I just want to show that when you just join the two equal cubes, these are two equal cubes, something like this it will be. They are two equal cubes. So when they will form, it will look like this. This will be the whole picture of the cube. So it will look like more like a cuboid when you just join them. So 64 centimeter cube is the volume already given. Volume of a cube is a cube. You can find the value of the side of cube, that is 4 centimeter, by cube root the 64 centimeter cube. Okay, so since we have to find out the surface area of resulting cuboid, this will be 4, this will be 4, this will be 4, this will be 4, and height will be 4. You can see here that breadth remains same and height remains same. But when you have to calculate the surface area of cuboid, this length increases when you will join the two cubes. So length become 8 centimeter, breadth become 4 centimeter, and edge will also remain 4 centimeter. Do not just forget to write these units. They are very important units. You have to write in any situation, right? So just put on the formula and you will be getting your answer. It will be like 2 into 16 plus 32 plus 32 is basically 64. So 64 plus 16 is your 80 into 2, that is 160 centimeters square. I hope this is very easy question and you will be like, it is very easy to understand this question, right? Moving ahead with the another one. So this is the vessel which is already given. It has a hollow hemisphere. There is a hollow hemisphere. This is a hemisphere like this. You can just draw the hemisphere. Okay, it is mounted by a hollow cylinder. So here a hollow cylinder is present like this. Okay, so diameter of hemisphere is 14. So this is your diameter of hemisphere is 14. So obviously the radius will be 7 and the radius of cylinder will be 7, and the height of this particular hemisphere will be 7, because we know that the radius and the height will remain same in case of hemisphere. And the total height of the vessel is 13. So since the total height is given as 13, it will be 6, right? Find the inner surface area of the vessel. We have to find out the inner surface area of the vessel. So first of all, we have to find out like inner surface. For the inner surface area, we know we have to add both the surface area, like the surface area of this, that will be 2 pi r square. We are not here writing the total surface area of the hemisphere because the hemisphere is hollow. It means there is no base in of the hemisphere. That means we have to take the curved surface, right? And in this case also this is hollow, so we have to take the curve only. So by taking the curve, we have to take the curved surface area of both of them. That just take out the common ones. You can just take out them. So we are left with 7 plus h is also 7. Sorry, this is the height of a cylinder, that is 6, right? So we will be left with 44 multiplied by 13, that is 572 centimeter square. I hope that's clear to you how you have to find out the inner surface area. Since in the question it is already given that it is hollow, that is why we have taken the curved surface area in this case instead of the total surface area. Moving ahead with the next question. Okay, so a solid is in the shape of cone standing on the hemisphere. There is a hemisphere. This is a normal hemisphere, like you can just draw like this, and there is a cone standing on this hemisphere. Okay, so with both the radii being equal to, since both of them radii is 1 centimeter and the height of the cone is equal to the radius, so the height of cone is 1 centimeter, and you know that the radius and the height of hemisphere are also same. So the total height of vessel being taken as 2. Okay, so the height of cone is okay. Find the volume of the solid in terms of pi. So it is very easy to calculate the volume because you don't have to look like what is, you have to consider either curve or you have to consider total. In volume you have the direct formulas, just apply them. So volume of cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h, plus the volume of the hemisphere is 2 by 3 pi r cube. We have to find answers in terms of pi, so don't put the value of pi, right? So you will be getting something like 1 by, you have to take like 1 by 3 into pi. R is 1, h is also 1, so it will remain like 1 by 3 pi plus 2 by 3 pi. right? And we are just getting it like 3 by 3 pi, and answer will remain pi centimeter cube. Don't forget to write centimeter cube in case of volume. Either you are calculating in terms of pi, in terms of variable, you don't have to like forget to put all the units. You have to put units. If the units are not given in question, then you have to put a unit instead of the centimeters. You can just write pi unit cube. Okay, so Rachel, an engineering student, was asked to make the model shape like a cylinder with two cones attached at its end. Okay, so a model, it was like he was suggested to make a model like a cylinder. This is a cylinder, and there are two cones in the end of the cylinder. This was a like of a model he wants to make by the help of aluminum sheet. The diameter of the model is 3, so obviously the radius of hole is basically 1.5, and the length of this whole model is basically 12 centimeter. Okay, so if each cone is of height, so basically the cone is 2 centimeter, this is also 2 centimeter. By cancelling out 4 from 12, we are getting that height of cylinder is approximately 8 centimeters, right? So find the volume of air contained in the model that Rachel made. Okay, so how can you just calculate the volume? We just have to apply the volume directly. So the volume of cylinder is basically 2, okay, we pi r square h is the volume of cylinder, plus 1 by 3 pi r square h is the volume of cone, multiplied by 2 because there are two cones of the equal size. So we can just take out pi as common, okay, or we can just write pi into r is your 1.5 or 3 by 2 into 3 by 2 into h is 8, right, plus 2 by 3 pi, r is given as 3 by 2, 3 by 2 into h is 2. I hope that's clear to you. You can just cancel them out. You'll be getting 3 pi here, and here after cancelling them out, you will be getting 3 is a 9 into 2 is 18 pi plus 18 pi. Okay, so we'll be getting 18 pi plus 3 pi, that is approximately 21 pi, and you can just calculate the answer like 21 into 22 by 7. You can take, just calculate, and you will be getting 66 centimeter cube is the total volume of air present inside the model. I hope you are cleared with this question, and the volume is very easy to solve. Trust me, it is very easy to solve the volume questions, because in the case of surface area, you just have to look that whether it is 4 walls or it is like total surface area. But in case of volume, you just have to like simply apply the formula. Okay, so these are conversion of solids. I told you that in the case of conversion of solids, the volume remains same. So let's look at the question here. A metallic sphere of radius 4.2 centimeter is the sphere's radius. Okay, this is the radius of the sphere. It is recast. Okay, so when anything, let's just suppose there is a sphere, you will be recasting and melting it. So like we are taking a clay, we are making something from the clay. After then we are just melt the clay, and we are making some another thing from that clay. So the volume of clay will remain same. The surface area will be changed depending upon the shape you are forming, but the volume will remain same. The amount of the clay will remain same. Similarly, like this is the metal from which the sphere is made. When you just melt the metal and make another shape, then the amount of metal will remain same. It means the volume of both the shapes will remain same. So, in that case, volume of sphere is equals to volume of cylinder. Just write it like this. Now just put out the formula. Volume of sphere is basically 4 by 3 pi. Write it as r cube, and for cylinder it is pi r square h. I am writing like this to differentiate the radius, because the radius is different in both the cases, right? So it is 4 by 3 pi is, you can just cancel out the pi, so don't put the values of pi. For sphere it is 4.2 into whole cube, or you can just write it like this, so that it will be cancelled out. Okay, and the cylinder has the radius 6 into 6 into h. So we have to find the value of h. First of all, just cancel them out. You will be getting 1.4. H is basically 4 into 1.4 into 4.2 into 4.2 divided by 6 into 6. I'll just try to cancel them out. I'll be getting like this and this. After cancelling them, we will be getting this. So it will be 1.4 whole cube. We know 14 is 196. So 196 multiplied by 14 is basically, what you will be getting is you will be getting something like this. Okay, so basically it is 2.74 centimeter will be the height of the given solid, right? So I hope you understand how to find it, right? I hope that this question is clear to you and you know that how to solve the particular question, right? So moving ahead with our next question, with the frustum of the cone, that is the main topic for this particular class. So there is a drinking glass of the shape of the frustum of cone. So you know that this is something like a frustum of cone. I'm just drawing a picture like this, so you can just understand that how it is. Okay, I'm not drawing such a good picture. So in the shape of frustum of cone, the height of the cone is given as 14 centimeters. The diameter of the two ends are 4 and 2. So obviously the radius will be 2 and 1. Okay, so find the capacity of the glass. This is the easiest question I have witnessed. You just have to apply the formula. Formula is 1 by 3 pi h r1 square plus r2 square plus rr. Just apply this. You just have to put the values in this particular formula and you will be getting like 1 by 3 pi. You have to put the value of pi. H is your 14 and after that r1 square is like 2 square like 4 plus 1. Okay, plus 2 into 1 is your 2. Okay, so you will be getting 4 plus 2 6 plus 1 7. Okay, so it will be like 22 into 14 divided by 3. So the answer will be approximately 308 by 3. You can convert in the decimals centimeter cubes, right? So moving ahead with the next question, the slant height is given. It means L is given as 4 centimeters. Parameter of the circular ends are this and this. Okay, so you know that parameter of circular ends means the circumference of the circular end. So we have already studied about the circumference thing, so you can find out the r1 by putting this, and 2 pi r2 is equals to like 6 centimeter. You can find out the value of r2. So by r1 we are getting n by pi and by r2 we are getting 3 by pi. Curved surface area is pi L R1 plus R2. We are aware of pi L R1 and R2 and we can easily find out the value. Now moving ahead with the next question, affairs, the cap used by the Turks is in the shape of frustum of cone. Its radius on the open side, so this is the open side, it means the larger side has the radius 10 centimeter and the radius at the upper base is 4 centimeter. Slant height is given, it means R1 is given as like 4, R2 is given as 10 and the slant height L is given as 15. Okay, find the area of material used. Okay, so let's have a look on this question. In this particular question, like you know, the total surface area is pi L R1 plus R2 plus pi R1 square plus pi R2 square. But in this particular case, you have to find out the material area of material used for making the cap. Okay, so let's just suppose this is a cap. When you will just imagine a cap, what you will see, a cap is basically like something for wearing. So when you just wear a cap, it means it is covered from upwards but it is open from the bottom part, right? That is why we can just wear it from this side. Okay, so it means that there is no cloth required to make this side of the cap. So we have to like what we have to do in the formula, we have to take this curved surface area, that is pi L R1 plus R2. and we have to take this particular figure. We have to take the top of the hat, and it is basically pi r1 square. So we don't have to take pi r2 square. Why? Because when you imagine the hat, then you know that the hat is covered from one end, and while the hat is open from the another end. Like, you have to think a little bit about this also. Okay, so here it comes with the last exercise from this chapter. So a copper wire 3 millimeter in diameter, so it means that the radius of the copper wire is 1.5 millimeter, is wound about a cylinder whose length is, okay, so a copper wire has a, this is a diameter of the copper wire, and it is like uh, it is wrapped around a cylinder. This length of the cylinder is basically 12 centimeters. Okay, so the diameter 10 centimeter, the cylinder's diameter, it means the radius of cylinder is given as 5 centimeter. Okay, now the next thing is, so what you have to do is, you just have to like this is you have to first write whatever is given in the question. You have to find out the length and the mass of the wire, assuming the density of the copper, like the density is given as 8.88 gram per centimeter cube. Now what you will do is, like in the earlier classes we have studied that whenever we have to learn about this number of round, like we have studied about the number of bricks concept. Whenever we have to put the bricks in a wall, we can find out the number of bricks by dividing the area of whole wall with the area of one brick. So here we are just wrapping copper wire in this whole cylinder. So what we'll take is height of the cylinder divided by length of the wire. Okay, that will take, so we will be getting like 12 centimeter. First of all, just convert the units. This is millimeter and this is in centimeters. So this millimeter will be approximately 0.3 centimeters, and we can just write it as like this, and it will be like 40. So there are total 40 rounds of the copper wire. So length of the wire for one round is equal to radius of the cylinder. It means that 2 pi r will be equals to 2 into pi into radius is given as 5, so it is 10 pi. Okay, so since we know that this is the one round, okay, this is the circumference when the wire is wrapped around the copper wire, around the cylinder only one time, but we know that it is wrapped around approximately 40 times, so it will be 40 pi. Okay, 40 into 10 pi, so it will be 400 pi. Okay, so now we have been calculating this value, and we will be like getting 8800 by 7 is the length of the total wire. Okay, and we are given that the radius of the wire is 0.5 centimeters, like 1.5 millimeter was it, and it was converted into centimeter as 0.15. So volume of the wire will be area into length. Now area of the wire, you know that wire is always circular, so it is pi into r is 0.15 whole square, right, into length we have calculated as 8800 by 7, right. So we can just calculate it and we will find out the volume of the wire. Now we know we have to calculate the mass. Now density is equals to mass by volume. From this particular thing we will be getting the volume of this particular wire, and the density is already given, so we can calculate the mass by putting in this particular formula. I hope that is clear to you, that how can you just find out the value of the given copper wire. So there is another question, so I'll just the solution is also given there, and I'll just tell you to, you can just like solve it by yourself, and if you are facing any problem you can just comment down, and me and my team will be definitely there to help you people. Okay, so this is the question for you. This is a kind of homework for you people. You just have to try this at home, and this is very easy question. In case you can't like solve the question, don't look at the solution, you can just do it whatever you feel so, and if you are not getting the answer then you can just comment down. Okay, so as always we will prepare a short summary for what we have learnt in this particular chapter. Okay, So I'm not writing the formulas that we have like studied in earlier classes, so I'm just writing out the topics. For the formulas, you can just go through class 9 sessions. There is a very good description of those formulas and all those pictures, like what is cube, what is cuboid. You can just go through the portal and you can check out the videos there. And I've also given a short introduction. I've also introduced the formulas to you in this video also. Just for the brief intro, I'm telling you to go there. Okay, so volume also. The another thing that you have studied in this particular is basically a conversion. In case of conversion of solids, when something is melted and converted into another thing, the volume remains same, always remains same. Just you have to, okay. Then another thing we have learned is basically the frustum of cone. You know what is frustum of cone and how it is find out, and how you can just form the frustum, like cutting the cone from the upper edge or upper corner. And the CSA for this particular is pi L. I'm writing it and I'm not writing other formulas because this is new for you. Other formulas you're already aware from class 9th standard, that is why I'm not writing here. You can just go through like all the tables and you will just remind them. You will remember what are they. Total surface area is basically pi, okay, it is pi L r plus r plus pi r1 square plus small r square. This is the TSA. And the last thing is the volume. So volume is basically 1 by 3 into pi h r square plus small r square plus r r. I hope these formulas are clear to you. Very important for class 10th standard. Just to revise them, just know what are they, okay. You will be easily getting PDF notes in my videos. You can just go through the portal and you will be getting everything you needed. And in case you people are not like you are not able to get something, then you can just let us know and we'll just arrange that for you and we'll just, okay. So this is all for this chapter. I hope you understand about this chapter, you understand how the questions can be solved. So basically this is the end of the unit number 6, that is mensuration. And from like tomorrow we'll be starting in the next lesson, we will be starting about another unit, that is unit number 7, that is your statistics and probability. That is the easiest unit of the whole mathematics. And then we will just be like revision of certain formulas, and that's all for our syllabus. So I hope you people enjoyed. So thank you for watching. Have a very lovely day ahead. Thank you.